The metal motions on the air, across the globe he's everywhere. See no dust all over the place, on the mic and in his face. No school, old school doesn't care. If it rocks, you'll find it here. Look at the world, he's on the loose. The metal moose show starts right now.
Welcome to another edition of Soundchecked. It's Soundchecked, not Soundchecked, because this is where I do a custom review of an entire album from a band that wants to know an outside view on their record, not from their girlfriend or their family or their friends, but from somebody who listens and reviews to metal on a daily basis. And I am ass deep in metal all the time, so this is something that I offer to bands. Hey, send it over to me and I'll tell you the truth about your record. I'm not going to be a producer. I'm not going to tell you you're going to be a rock star. I'm going to tell you the things that are good and the things that are bad about your record, and I call it Soundchecked. And yeah, man, so I got to be honest with you real quick that I can tell you right now, this band is awesome before I even get started. Now, listen, I've never listened to a complete album from them, but I have played them on Metal Moose and Soundcheck before, and they are just phenomenal. So I've not heard this record, like I said, through, so I'm going to be hearing it for the first time with you right now. And I'm saying this tongue-in-cheek, but also on a very serious note. If you know me very well at all, you know that I'm not about using hot, sexy chicks to sell records. I think it's ignorant. It's just not the way I think that music should be presented. You're good or you're not, whether or not you've got hot chicks in your band or you don't. So my saying that this band is good has absolutely nothing to do with there being a smoking hot redhead and a blonde in this band. They are smoking hot, but that's not why I like the music. I just need to get that out there right now. Smoking hot ladies, awesome, but the music was good before I knew there were girls in the band. So I'm lucky enough to get to listen to this and share this with you guys, and give these guys a good play on their album. They're called Pokerface, and I believe they're from Russia. And in the United States, when I think of Pokerface, I think of Lady Gaga. And I'm telling you right now, this don't sound nothing like Lady Gaga. So get ready for Soundchecked with Pokerface. And I'm really excited because, like I said, I've not heard... I may have heard a cut off this record. I'm not totally sure. I know that I've heard them before. Like I said, I don't know what release it was off of, but... man, am I excited, and we're going to have a good time with this. So their latest release, Game On, Pokerface, coming up for you in full length and track-by-track blow right here on Soundchecked, coming to you from the Moosehead in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, with me, the Moose with hiccups, that is, but it's still me, the Moose, and hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope the band finds some good critique out of this as well. Here we go.
You are listening to the Metal Moose.
Left
Hey, you're listening to Soundchecked with Pokerface and Game Over. Kicking things off there with the Bone Reaper. I said in the beginning of the show, there are two females in the band, one blonde and one redhead, and I need to once again reiterate that that's not why I like the band. And if you need a reason why I like the band, if you just listen to that opening cut, I really like the Motorhead influence. I don't know if anybody else really tagged onto that but myself. It's just got that dirty, gritty, boot straight to your crotch rock and roll. It's heavy, it's well produced, it's, you know what, and it's got that kind of not overly produced. It's got a little bit of grit in there, a little bit of mud, but that is part of what makes it attractive. I've always said that the first song is the catalyst to the rest of the record, and I will stand by that for ever. You know, unless the first song is, you know, like a little intro thing, I don't always think that sets your tone. But I mean, if you look at great records through time, you know, Shout at the Devil, Master of Puppets, you know, if you go back and you look hard enough, you find that first cut is what sets the tempo for the record. And if Bone Reaper is the, you know, how we're going to start this thing out, it's going to be a long and bumpy ride of good rock and roll. And here's the thing about that. You know, some people are going to want to label that extreme metal. Some people are going to want to call that hard rock with harsh vocals. I think it's a little bit of both, and that's another thing that makes it enjoyable to me. It's not just strictly for, you know, a death metal fan or you know, or just a hard rock fan. Both fans of both genres can totally get into that. There's got some good double bass and some good growling going on there, but also good riffing, good songwriting, awesome. When the clean female vocal kicked in, it was soulful. It was a good vocal. It wasn't just, you know, retarded screaming. And so I thought that it is a good way to set the pace for what the rest of the record can sound like. And if that's so, like I said, it's going to be a good one. So we're going to get on to track number 2 right now. You're listening to Soundcheck Moose, coming to you from OKC in the Moose Pit Studios. It is Pokerface with Game On. Did I say Game Zero earlier? Game On. Something like that, yeah.
This is Chris from Cold Creature, and you're listening to the Metal Moon.
Who grows? What do you see?
This is Richie from Grave Huffer, and you are listening to the Metal Moose.
So game on here from Pokerface and the Fatal Scythe. So far, like, I really got a little Motorhead out of the first tune. You know, not Motorhead influence. I'm not trying to say that they ripped Motorhead off or anything. I could feel that that Motorhead grit in the tune. Like I said, it wasn't too brutal or too light. Like, it was something I think people from multiple genre fans could like. And in the second tune, I'm catching a little bit more of the same thing, but we're moving into mid-tempo, riff-driven, a la Witchery, The Haunted, maybe Latter Day, At the Gates kind of stuff, which, of course, all those bands share some things in common. So, but you can't beat it, man. It's tempoed. I liked the staccato vocals at the end, alongside the rhythm of the. Yeah, man, it's just good. Like, it's that crunchy gallop, just mid tempo. It's not too fast. It's not too cluttered because of that. Really powerful. Like I said, there is some dirt and grime in the production, and I think that it is it's more attractive and more sexy that way, because if it were just glossed out, you know, like a big block of Velveeta, it wouldn't have that you know, saloon kind of draw your guns kind of feel to it, which is one of the things about, you know, the records that I one of the bands I was talking about before, you know, At the Gates and The Haunted and Witchery kind of had that bring your damn guns loaded because we're going to throw down kind of sound to it, and this is the same way. It's like I said, it's just that mid tempo, and it just keeps throwing body shots at you till you're gonna fall, man. So far so good, really, really good. More coming up right now on Soundchecked.
With the latest in high-octane Metal Moose. You've been weighed, you've been measured, you've been found wanting. Metal Moose. For the latest in high-octane Metal Moose. Visit them on Facebook at Metal Moose Radio for weekly podcasts and more up-to-date information and events. Metal Up. Metal Moose.
Mike from Silent Line, and you're listening to the Metal Moose. Also, Cheeto dust is appropriate anywhere on the body.
You're damn right it is. Cheeto dust appropriate anywhere on the body, especially redheads and blondes. So listen, Player Night continues. If you're not starting to get the message yet, this is not a soft limousine ride. This is a bumpy ass roller coaster of mid-tempo thrash. And even as we continue to go along here, I've already thrown out, there's some Motorhead influence, very witchery and haunted, at the Gates-esque mid-tempo thrash, riff-driven as hell. I haven't heard this many good riffs on a record in a long time. So even in that one, you could go as far as to say that has a little bit of that Southern Texas beer metal swag, a la Hell Yeah. And also something the guys in Methane have done a really good job perfecting. It's kind of got that cocky, like I said, saloon, high noon kind of feel to it. It's just, it oozes with confidence. And it's very, like I said, during the last mono there, it continues to throw those riffs at you like body punches, man. And you just, it's begging you to like headbang. You know what I mean? It's not something you kind of sit back and go, I really need to listen to this and figure out whether I like it or not. I mean, usually within the first 10 seconds of one of these tunes, you're like, okay, holy crap. I really liked the high-low vocal exchange in that tune. Give it a little bit more addition to the menu of what's going on there. It's really hard to stray away from the riffing, because I mean, I'm just like, God, man, Jensen, was the last person that I knew that wrote riffs this fluent and catchy and just pungent. You just like, you can't get it out of your head. You're like, oh my God, yeah, I just want to, when it has that like Les Paul kind of just thick ass. Anyway, yeah, man, I'm totally impressed by the riffage have you so far. This is Soundchecked with the Moose, coming to you from OKC in the Moose Pit. It's Pokerface with Game On. More coming up right now.
Hi, this is Fern, the vocalist of Pain, Love, and War, and you're listening to The Metal Moose.
A little bit of blackjack there. If you haven't noticed yet, this is kind of the game on. It's kind of a card game kind of a deal. So, yeah, so I like the melody and the riffing there. Got a little bit more melodic towards the end. Another thing that I'm liking about the record is that the guitar solos have that real whiskey drenched blues feel to them. They're not just arpeggiated scales and silly noodling. I mean, there's some good blues based flavor going on there. It's refreshing. Sometimes and it also just sounds like it's a guitar plugged straight into a Marshall. There's not a bunch of effects going through it. It's not so digital that it is sterile. You can kind of feel the fingers on the strings, and that's also a nice touch to it. What I'm gathering so far into the record here. We're about to hit the fifth cut, which is a song called Straight Flush, is that this is just a mid-tempo, good, heavy blues, mid-tempo thrash record. And, I mean, it's so stock full of riffs, man. I'm just, like, stupefied at there's so many good riff moments and that good double kick gallop that pushes through. It has absolutely not let down for a second, and it is just punishing to listen to, but so enjoyable because it's you're playing air guitar and just headbanging the whole time. So pretty badass so far. Coming up right now, the fifth cut, Straight Flush from Pokerface with Game On.
Hey Moose, let's see that nipple pierce.
Everybody likes to play, thinking you want to take it. No one wants to share and lose. Mine is losing all their rules. The better than for their lives.
Hello there, grind children. This is the Grind Mother, and you are listening to the Metal Moose Show.
You know, one of the things I've been building on as I listen to this is I keep trying to think of a good, you know, I've used that term mid-tempo thrash quite a few times, but I think the term that I'm really looking for is thick. This is a really thick, like thicker than J-Lo's ass, thicker than Meghan Trainor's ass, thicker than a Kardashian's ass. It's really, really thick, fat production. The guitars are just blowing the speakers out. And the more I listen to it, another thing that's really impressive to me is the consistency. I mean, on a lot of records, you're going to hear that one good riff tune. You know what I mean? That one good headbanging song. And this hasn't stopped yet. Every tune so far has just been like, this really takes me back to when I was listening to like, Metallica when I was younger. The riffs didn't stop. It doesn't sound like Metallica. It just has that non-stop good quality riff after riff. You're just like, God, just doesn't stop being good. And that is, man, you can't say that a lot about records anymore. I mean, a lot of records, you got your 2 or 3 good cuts, maybe 4 if you're lucky. We just got through track number 5, and it was just as strong as track number 1. It hasn't let off the gas. It's been full throttle the whole time. And it's not so full throttle that you're overwhelmed by it. You're just like, damn, this is just, it's heavy, it's thick, reminds me of a bunch of people's asses, you know. It's really good, man. So I'm blown away at this point. This is one of those albums I listen to and I go, how in the world is this band not, touring the world? Like somebody needs to get this band out there on the road, to show the Butcher Babies what metal's all about. Because the Butcher Babies, please. Yeah, this is so it's diesel and beer whiskey drenched thrash, and I love it. Man, it's good. I don't think that anybody that is into guitar riffs or thrash metal would have a problem with this on any level. Unless it's some guy who's like, man, I don't like chicks, and well, that sounds like a personal problem, dude, because these chicks rock. Anyway, it's Pokerface on Soundcheck. More to come.
The moose is loose.
Already waiting for the night.
Massacre, and you're listening to the Metal Moose.
It's another one of those records that while I'm listening to it, we've been doing the Chicks That Rock thing since 2014. There's so many people out there that are like, man, if a girl's in a band, it's just not heavy enough. Really? I'm not sure what you're listening to. This is one of the reasons why we've been such pro-female in the heavy music industry for as long as we have, because there's some outstanding talent out there. Bands with females. I mean, anybody that says that is just, first of all, you go back to Demonic Christ, you go back to Crisis, Bolt Thrower, anybody that's saying things like that is just not well versed in the music that they're listening to. This record continues to impress. It's just pummeling. The riffs are amazing. The vocals are incredible. The guitar licks are so cool. The drumming is rock solid. Bass tone is on point. I don't have anything bad yet to say. I mean, it's just, and I kind of knew this going into this. I mean, this band is solid as hell. So, it's been my pleasure because I'm getting to listen to the whole thing, front to end. So, besides wanting to do that with a couple of the members of the band as well, it's been a pleasure to listen to it because it's impressive. End of story. Coming up next, Creepy Guest off of Pokerface's Game On right here on Soundchecked.
Hey, this is David, bass player from Texas, and you're listening to Metal Moose Radio.
To the game.
I like the cleaner, raspy vocal thrown in there sometime. Like I said, it gives a little bit more options on the menu for the record because this is a real steak and potato record. I mean, just to be honest with you, Ed, I kind of feel bad for using the same descriptions a lot. It is riffs and rhythm section and bluesy leads with metal tones to them. Really dry guitar tone. It's in your face. It is no holds barred. It just keeps pushing. And it's so utterly consistent that it's impressive. It's hard to find that consistency anymore. It just doesn't happen very often. So this is one of those records that I think just kind of gets lost in the shuffle because excuse me, I need to get a drink. Wow. This is an album that's out there and is ready for people to buy and pick up and listen to. And I think that it is it's overlooked, man. And I hope that this changes that because this is an amazing band that is playing amazing, good, solid, thrashy foundation, female-fronted thrash, rock, thrash and roll, have you. So we're going to continue on with Bow, Run, Scream. I will if you want me to. I mean, just saying. Just if I can get to Russia, we can.
This is Cadaveria from Cadaveria Band, and you are listening to the Metal Moose.
Bow, 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 bow.
up, metalheads? This is Jerry from Gut Wretch, hardcore metal melodic band from Kansas, and you are listening to Metal Moose Radio. Be sure and listen to our track.
That may be my favorite cut off the record so far. A little bit of Maiden influence there, reminiscent of 3 Inches of Blood, where traditional power metal-esque kind of a deal. That was the standout track with more of the clean, raspy vocal. And listen, that doesn't mean anything's wrong with any of the other songs, but that cut really stand out with the melody and the guitar lead and that, like I said, that Maiden-esque kind of power metal feel to it. It just really galloped along at a different pace than the other tunes, not necessarily tempo-wise. It just had a different kind of push to it. And I think that could be the type of tune that gathers people into the band more. Also reminiscent of, similar to Cobra and the Lotus. I think that it's something that if people heard that track, they would go, okay, because sometimes it's unfortunate. A lot of people hear that growly and they're done with it. They're like, I don't want anything to do with that. There's growly. You can't understand the words. I don't want to listen to it. Crap. So I think a tune like that last one, is one that could push them into a broader audience. So just my suggestion to the band, I'd really push that tune. And some people may consider it dishonest, oh my gosh, that sounds completely different than the other ones, but that gets people into the other ones, so give them the chance to listen to hear what you got. Coming up next is a song called Jackpot, which is what you got if you've got this record.
The moose is loose.
This is Brett Schlegel from Skeleton Wolf, and you are listening to The Metal Moose.
I hope you guys weren't planning on slowing down or hoping that the album gives up any, because it hasn't and it won't. Man, what an impressive piece of work. Once again, this has nothing to do with the insanely hot redhead and blonde in the band. Nothing. I'm probably pissing the band off. I'm just trying to be funny, but really it's a serious deal to me, because I just don't, that doesn't matter to me. The music's good. It doesn't matter if it's a bunch of old fad guys playing it. I'm an old fad guy, so it's one of the most impressive whole records that I've heard in a long time, because it's so consistent. It is quality. It's not just bits of quality. Every inch of this thing is a masterpiece of riff heaven, like the Woodhawk record. What a killer record that is. Excellent riffing, tone, good everything. So we're about to wrap this up with the last song, which is the title cut, Game On, from Pokerface. This has been my pleasure to do this. I'm stunned at how good it is. Stunned's not the right word. I'm stunned at how good it is, and not more people are, like tattooing Pokerface on their arms or, their butt cheek or something, because it's really, really good. Let's end things off here with the title cut from Game On and Pokerface, and at the very end I'll give my full review. So it's it's a good one. It's like a steak. It's just thick and juicy, and yeah.
This is Noah Shark from Moto Grader, and you're listening to Metal Moose Radio.
Hi, this is Twister, singer from Maximize, based in London, England, alternative progressive metal band. We're listening to the Metal Moose. It's a great show. Stay cool. Bye.
Listen, so here's the deal with this, and I almost feel like I'm doing the band a disservice because I don't have anything bad to say. I mean, there were a couple little pieces in the production where they tried to do, stop the guitar riff and come back in with a drum fill that was a little loosey-goosey, wasn't very tight. There were a couple times where I thought the leads, especially the blues leads, could have used some wah pedal just for a little flavor. Besides that, and I think that the bass drum could be a little bit more staunch than it was if you want to get down to like nitty gritty details. But this album is a 5 damn taco rating. It's great. It's the only reason it's not perfect is because they're not playing right here in front of me, because I would be throwing my underwear at the ladies in the band and then I'd go to jail. But that would be a perfect way to go to jail. Really, I don't know what else to say about this other than it's pretty flawless to me. And listen, if you don't like it, you suck. I mean, there's not a reason that you could give me to not like this, unless you're one of those narrow-minded people who's, they all sounded too much alike. Yeah, too much alike. Good, there are bands out there that have been putting out the same record for 30 years. ZZ Top, Slayer, AC/DC. It's because it's good. So, yeah, man, excellent Pokerface. I totally love it. Love it. Great record. Nothing bad to say about it. My pleasure to have soundchecked this record, and my best wishes to you in the future and everything that you do, man. And I hope that hope I get the chance to do this again with you guys. Thanks so much. It's been Soundchecked. Until next time, stay thick.
All rights to the music heard on the Metal Moose are reserved by the authors, their labels, or authorized representatives that permitted their material to be used. The Metal Moose holds no rights to any music played on the show. Go to themetalmoose.com to submit your music to be heard on the show. Metal Moose accepts donations of money, Cheetos, bacon, and naked pictures. Thank you for tuning in and subscribe on iTunes. Rock out while you rack out, and consider yourself moosed.